Jurassic Central Park. It had been a long week for the mighty Avengers. First they had taken on Thanos. Then they had battled Kang and Count Nefaria. Now it was time to rest. Dr. Bruce Banner and billionaire inventor Tony Stark were enjoying a lazy day in Tony's lab, where Tony kept all his cool gadgets and inventions. So, want to build something? Tony asked Bruce. Bruce shrugged. Sure, but something small. 3 hours later, Nick Fury burst into Tony's lab. Stark, he yelled, what did you do? Fury pointed at a massive portal that was opening in Central Park. Tony cringed. We may have built a teeny, tiny time machine. You built a time machine, Fury yelled. To what period? Before Tony could answer, something big came through the portal. Several somethings, in fact. Terrifying Tyrannosaurus, velociraptors with razor-sharp teeth, pterodactyls with winged claws rushed through, roaring at everything in their way. The time machine had opened a portal to the Jurassic period. I'm not one to tattle, Tony said, but Bruce helped. Fury leaned in. Then I would get him mad. And quick. Tony stepped into his Iron Man armor and rocketed toward the menacing carnivores. But he wasn't alone. The Incredible Hulk was right behind him. I wish Falcon were here, Iron Man said, firing a repulsor beam at an incoming pterodactyl. Maybe he speaks their language. Hulk speak language, the green Goliath said as he rammed into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Hulk roar! As more and more dinosaurs came through the portal, the battle quickly turned disastrous. Hulk tried to stay on top, but he was overpowered by a group of dinosaurs. Iron Man struggled with a raptor that was crushing his armor in its mighty jaw. You know, Iron Man cried as he tried to avoid a series of razor-sharp claws, this isn't going as planned. Remind me to never ever play with Pym's particle beam again, Iron Man said. I knew crossing those wires would create a portal to another time, but I was just hoping for the 70s. Just as the T-Rex and the pterodactyl were about to shake giant chomps out of the superheroes, a powerful force whizzed by Hulk, pushing him to the ground. It rocked the T-Rex and sent it flying across the park. What was... Iron Man began, but before he could finish, something flew past him too. A loud explosion knocked the pterodactyl out of the sky, and the blast sent the T-Rex tumbling to the ground. Hulk gathered himself off the floor and smiled. About time you showed up, Iron Man said with a smile. It was the other mighty Avengers. Iron Man shook Captain America's hand. Hey, Cap, he said. Let me guess, Fury told you about our tiny issue with a couple of lizards? Tiny? Cap repeated, looking up at a roaring T-Rex. Thor stepped forward. Let's even the score. What say you? Hulk grinned. I say you. The Avengers launched themselves into the fray. With a few repulsor blasts from Iron Man, some trick shots from Hawkeye, and a couple of Black Widow's bites, the Avengers backed the monsters into the portal. Thor hurled his mighty hammer Mjolnir at a T-Rex, sending it stumbling back into its prehistoric world. Hulk has idea, the great Avenger said as he grabbed a metal fence that surrounded a nearby baseball field. As long as the idea doesn't include eating them or keeping them, Iron Man joked. Hulk wrapped the metal fencing around a bunch of raptors and sealed them in tight. He spun them around and hurled them back into the portal, which closed in behind them. With a loud sucking noise, the portal disappeared into the air. The Avengers had saved Central Park, and saved Iron Man and Hulk, too. The next day, after the Avengers cleaned up the city, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner cleaned up Tony's lab. Tony looked at Bruce and grinned. Hey, want to see who can pick up Thor's hammer or throw Cap's shield the farthest? Bruce shook his head. You just don't learn your lesson, do you? He said. Then he smiled. Okay, hit me. The end. I love you.